SMT Nation, we back. Nation, I found this article and I just want to give it a read with you all. There are some things in here that I think we often overlook or don't consider in wireless networks and mobile networks. I mean, for the most part, most of us, 90 plus percent of the time, maybe 95, 98 plus percent of the time, our network experiences are phenomenal. Lots of capacity. The tasks that we do, the apps we use, everything runs great. No issues, no troubles. But then there's times where things can be congested or the signal is weak. And the only real way to address this are with tower upgrades, new tower installations and builds and construction. And sometimes there's resistance, unusual behavior from humans. They want something but don't want what it takes, right? So you want better cell coverage, but you want to fight and resist the installation of the cells. All right, now the key to good networking is redundancy, having more than just enough, right? And then with that redundancy, having overlap and stuff like that is modernization and new builds and getting, the new frequencies, which are higher, getting them closer to, user hardware. So anyways, we'll take a look at that today, right? That's kind of the intro. I'll be sure to link the article for you in the description. Also in the description is the Real SMT Buy Me a Coffee link. If you want to support your creators directly, buy us a coffee. There's other ways to support us too. They're all in the description. And if you're looking for a really good deal on wireless service, you can't beat the offers by our partner, Mint Mobile. Use our partner link, mintmobile.com/sneed. Save those ducats, get their legendary customer care, and of course, you'll be supporting the channel. All right, so let's take a look here. With the borough passes ordinance to resist Verizon towers. Oh, here we go. Municipalities making trouble. All right, so the city is Belmar, New Jersey. Now, I don't know exactly where this is. I've never been. But from what I understand, on the East Coast, in places like New York, New Jersey, there are quite a lot of visitors to these coastal areas, and it's really nice, especially in the summertime. Especially New Jersey, from what I understand. I have friends within the community that share speed tests with me, show me the congestion issues, and then show me the mmWave, the small cells that they see Verizon building, how the carriers are addressing the capacity needs. And it looks like there's trouble. Okay, so the mayor of the city and the council at a recent meeting approved an ordinance for second reading that would give the borough a fighting chance against the impending Verizon cell towers that are supposed to be built along the boardwalk. So how the poles are installed and constructed are impacted. Plans for 20 towers from an August 2022 settlement after litigation between Verizon and the Walsifer administration. All right, what are referred to as 20 small wireless facilities implemented on streetlights at each block along the beach. Streetlights shall be at Verizon costs, but the electricity maintenance and repair of the streetlight shall be at the borough's cost and expense. Okay, so that's the terms of the agreement from that settlement in August of 2022. Moving on, Peter Lupo, a telecommunications attorney based in New Brunswick that the borough hired last month, the mayor hiring that lawyer levels the playing field. And they're saying, I don't know, it says here that regulating the small cells within the borough's right of way, the mayor wants to protect the city, protects and give us more flexibility when dealing with these telco companies. All right, so they might want to go back and have provisions on some of those terms. Maybe they don't want to pay for the power, the electricity, right, and stuff like that. It says here, they want the carriers to also use existing infrastructure and not build new ones. I'm not that mad about that. I think that's actually smart. Use what's already there. No need to build anything new. Adding infrastructure that is not required doesn't really make sense. Now, if it's needed, if the current structures there aren't strong enough, there's other concerns or something, new construction is probably called for. So Verizon will have to use utility poles that are already in place rather than build new ones. Unless the pole doesn't meet the technical requirements necessary for the 5G tech. Now, these small cells that go up on these poles are not very heavy. right? You're going to put in, obviously some radio gear. Some of the antennas have integrated radios, which is cool. But typically what we see, if you want to support the entire network, layer cake, as they say, you got to put up LTE antennas. You got to put up LTE radios, and you got to put up 5G antennas and 5G radios. Sometimes it's all integrated, but it all just kind of depends on the structure. The stronger the structure, the more flexibility the carrier has. The worse the integrity of the structure, the more restrictive the carrier is with respect to what type of gear they can put up. A lot of stuff has to be lighter, smaller, and those types of things. Apparently, there's a noise issue with these towers. God, this makes me want to go to some of the small cells here in Cleveland and go see if I can hear noise. In fact, that sounds like an interesting idea. I know I've walked by small cells. I can't say that I've heard noise, nor would it be noticeable, especially if traffic is driving by, people cutting grass, kids playing. I've never heard it out of all my years. I never noticed small cells, so maybe I'll check it out and see if this is indeed the case. But it says here, consistent with the state's DOT's daytime and nighttime noise statutes, Verizon will have to come in and replace it if it annoys residents and it's beyond those limitations. Interesting stuff here. So it says here that the borough would be at the mercy of the FCC. The FCC for the last several years has worked really hard to make network upgrades and network builds easier, seamless, without trouble. But the ordinances with cities and the cities resisting continues to be a problem. What's your guys' take on this? I don't really see a problem here. Obviously, I think Verizon tried to, do what was best for their financial situation, right? And having the city pay for the electricity and all those things. But folks, these areas, I've seen speed tests from beaches. They need small cells and millimeter wave and support and C-band and all those things from carriers. N41. The carriers can get on all this stuff and build out improved networks. I mean, people are on their phones. And if the network tanks, if it bottoms out and it's congested, then you're worse off that way. I mean, there actually is something to be said about a safety risk when you can't place a call on a network because it's so congested. Can't support the number of customers with their smartphones connecting to the baseband. There's literally a limitation. It's part of the hardware and software limitations. But hopefully this works out and they get through this and carriers can build great networks and customers can be happy and stop complaining about the stuff that is required to make your smartphone work properly. All right, what do you guys think? Sound off in the comment section below. Real ones know. Hashtag Verizon. Hashtag 5G. Love to hear what you guys have to say on this. You all the voice of the people. The SMT Nation, let your voice be heard.